YouTube Nation, Main Event TV, aka Me TV, aka I'm flashing the leather today. But before we get started, because I know we won't talk about boxing. A lot of you guys that sit on Twitter, you're asking me when you want to talk about the boxing match. I will talk about it. It's in the title today. We'll talk about it. Trust me, I'm gonna break it down real nice for you guys. But before I get started, I got a bone to pick with the Philadelphia Flyers and NHL.com. We gotta talk about this right now. Now, first, y'all know last night I went to the Flyers game. All right, and I want to show y'all the rally towels that they gave us. This is the rally towel they gave us. As you can see, it's pretty much a big ad for Verizon. It has nothing to do really with the Flyers. Okay, nothing really to do with it. It's one of the worst rally towels I've ever seen. I understand it's free, but you have to understand the other rally towels that we've had here. Was it for the Phillies, the Flyers, and things of that nature? Those they have to be the worst. All right, they really do have to be the worst. But I want to talk about this NHL.com real quick. All right, I put it like this also. There were some Brizgalov fans out there dressed up, painted up like tigers, called the Breeze Pack. Yeah, they need to stop that. I don't even know how you can support that guy after what he said about the fans, but I need to move on, all right? NHL.com. For those who don't know, all right, they have the black ice jerseys out for the Philadelphia Flyers, and I wanted to get a Claude Giroux one. Now they have one of Briere, Yager, James Van Riemsdyk, and Giroux, all right? Now, as we know, Claude Giroux is number 28. Danny Briere is number 48. Now, why do I say this? Because guess what NHL.com sent me? You think they sent me, they just messed up and sent me a Briere jersey. No. That's not what they sent me. How do you make this mistake? Do you see this? Does anyone know what's wrong with this? Do you see what's wrong with this? You've got to be kidding me. This is a joke, all right? And that's not all. That's not all. No. The best excuse is when I contact them again. I say, look, you sent me the wrong jersey, right? You sent me a bad jersey, I should say. And they say, well, it is our mistake. They said, but what we'll do next time is give you 20% off your next purchase. Really? No. Let's get something straight. 20% off my next purchase? No. All right. If you're not going to fix this problem, I'm not going to purchase anything from you again, NHL. That's what it comes down to. All right. There's not no 20% off my next purchase. All right. I didn't pay for that. All right. Either you send me the right one, I'm sending that back, or I want my money back. It's really that simple. I haven't worn it. You know what I mean? I'll put it back in the packaging and I'll send it back to you. It's that simple. Then they say, well, why don't you just try to get a Briere jersey. We can exchange it for a Briere jersey because right now our Claude Giroux jerseys are out. 1 minute you just had it. That's what I ordered. So how was it out? Look, it's quite obvious that all you did was switch the plates, all right, on the sewing machine, and it sewed the wrong thing. That's all it was. Obviously, you got half of it right. So I'm not trying to hear that. You're not fooling anyone. But they're like, well, we can send you a Briere jersey if you want. Look, I already have a Briere jersey, all right? I got a Briere practice jersey. I don't need another Briere jersey. I don't need one. I just don't. All right, I don't want one. I want a Claude Giroux, black ice jersey. That's what I ordered. That's what I want. Now, if you didn't have them in stock, okay, fine. It's that simple. Just give me my money back. That's all you got to do. All right? But then they're giving me this runaround. Now they're talking about I'll have to pay shipping if I want to send it back. No, it's your problem. You did it. So you should have to pay shipping, not me. See, NHL.com, you have to fix this. Now, I will be in contact with you again about it. All right? Now, also, last month, I told you guys that I wasn't getting Flyers season tickets next year. Why? Because the Flyers tried to screw me. They wanted $3,800 for seats that they told me they weren't sure I was going to get. They was going to put me up in the nosebleeds. I'm not paying $3,800 for nosebleed seats. No way. No way. All right? For that money, you better put me down low. Well, today I talked to them about that, and they're actually hooking me up for half the price, and I'll be down in a lower level. I believe it's row 17. Now, last night, I was in row 6. Or something like that, so I was right there at the glass. I took a step and bang on the glass pretty much. All right, that was pretty good seats. So I didn't have a problem with those. All right, and I'm telling you, NHL, you got to get it together. You really do. I don't understand what's going on here. You know what? I'm gonna move on. Let's talk boxing. All right, Sergio Martinez versus Matthew Macklin. Now, guys, we talked about this actually last weekend. I broke down the fight, and I thought it was a joke. I thought the fight was a joke due to the fact that when you saw the matchup before the fight started, I was like, and I said to you guys, I said, this is going to turn out to be like the Great White Hype. I said, this is ridiculous. First off, Macklin wasn't even supposed to have this fight, all right? He was the 5th guy that was supposed to fight, supposed to fight Martinez. It made no sense. You're bringing in this Irish guy, and I played this Irish guy on St. Patrick's Day to fight the 3rd pound-per-pound best fighter in the world. Yes, rank 3. And you're going to bring this guy in to fight him? Come on. First off, the boxing styles were so bad, the contrasting styles, it didn't make sense. I thought this fight would end earlier with Macklin, but he did show heart. But I will speak about this, all right? Because Macklin, let's talk about this right now. Macklin's stance, I'm going to explain this. Macklin fights like this, all right? This is how he fights. And you think in this type of stance, because he rocks with his arm, but he lowers the shoulder. Now understand, when you're in this type of stance and you're fighting like this the entire time, and you're stalking like this, it's a defensive stance, which is why I don't understand why you're stalking. But I'll explain why he was stalking in a minute. Now, when you're fighting like this, what happens? You're supposed to, for guard, because I believe this Martinez is a southpaw. All right, he's a southpaw and he's a counter fighter. That's what Macklin did best. He made Martinez fight offensively. That's the best thing he did. But Macklin doesn't know how to use his own stance. When you're fighting like this and you're rocking, when you're going to swing or you're playing defense, you bring the shoulder up. You bring that arm up. This is what happens. This is what he was doing. He was dipping back, but you see how my hand is still up? He wasn't doing that. He was dipping back and lowering his arm, so he's doing like this. Why? It makes no sense. And he was getting caught with straight lefts. I'll explain in a minute. For those who saw the fight, then you know why. But he's fighting like this, so it makes no sense. This is what I don't understand. When you're in a stance like this and you're fighting, you're supposed to either keep that arm up, right, so you don't get hit here, or you can go right into the cross like this. Now, for those, I'm sure you boxing aficionados have seen this type of defensive stance before. It leaves your body open, yes, but you can still defend. And it's still hard because you can use your elbows to get away from a boxer. Now, understand that this made no sense to what Macklin was doing. This also shows how flat-footed he was as well when he was fighting around the ring. It was 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's the only steps he took. Very flat-footed. Martinez was stalking around the ring, circling, and cutting off the ring from him. However, I'll put it like this. You notice Martinez, like I said before, is a southpaw, and he's a counter fighter. So because he has to fight offensively, Martinez actually lowers his shoulder. All right, now we all know when you put your hands down, it makes you more mobile. However, when Martinez is rocking his arm like this, I have to put it on camera, okay? He's rocking his arm like this. What does this mean? Flick jab. Flick jab. And that's what he's hitting with, a flick jab. Now, you've probably seen this before. The most legendary flick jab person, I would say boxer, in the world, legendary for using that, is Tommy Hitman Hearns. That's right. So, especially for his size, his height, he used it very well to keep his, keep distance from his opponent. So, when you're using the flick jab, 1, 2, 1, and then straight left. And what happened? When every time Macklin tried to get into a fight with Martinez, straight left came. All right, now I'll put it like this. When you're in the stance that Macklin is in, and you're fighting like this, all right, you have one chance. Hook. Now, you should know the entire time, if anyone watched this fight, especially if you watched the 11th round, when Macklin got knocked down twice off the exchange, all right, what happened? He got hit with a straight left because he's throwing the hook. Why? Because the straight left is going to beat a hook every time. It's faster. And besides, Sergio Martinez is a faster fighter than Macklin. Now, here's the problem I have. All right, because Macklin scored a knockdown, which I said to you guys on Twitter, isn't a knockdown, because he tried to sweep the leg from under Sergio Martinez with his knee, tried to sweep under his knee, and then hit him this way. So Sergio Martinez loses balance and tries to catch himself. Because his glove hits the ground, it's counted as a knockdown. Sergio Martinez isn't hurt, all right? The ref is trying to do a standing 8. And Martinez is laughing like, are you serious? That's a knockdown? And what happens? He tries again the next round. Now, first off, I want to say this right now. Shout-outs to the card girl going into the 7th round. Whoever the camera work did on that, yeah, great. Right? But also understand, guys, that Macklin, since he's so flat-footed, he also has a problem later in rounds. He has a stamina problem. He gets gassed. As you can see, he got knocked out. All right, they had to stop the fight. He got knocked down twice off 2 exchanges in the same way. Hook to the straight. It was the hook versus the straight, and he got knocked down. All right, he almost got knocked down earlier in the fight, and he pretty much wobbled across to the other side of the ring and held onto the rope. All right, he kept getting caught time after time after time. Martinez, I will say, it was very uncharacteristic of him to come out and say, I'm going to get a knockout in the 10th round, and then come out, and he really didn't take his opponent, very seriously until Macklin started, putting some pressure on him. Before you know it, it became about speed, and as you know in boxing, speed kills. That's what it comes down to. Now, Sergio Martinez, he fought a good fight, but you can't go and fight Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather that way. And I say this because, for those who don't know, Sergio Martinez has offered out both Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. He has. Now, Floyd Mayweather, when he fights Cotto, is going to fight at 155, 156 pounds. Sergio Martinez has offered already Floyd Mayweather a challenge and said that 80% of that purse will go to Floyd Mayweather. He just wants to fight Mayweather just to fight him. That's what it comes down to. Now, you guys said on Twitter that the sad part is Floyd may not take the fight due to the fact that he thinks that he can find a bigger, payday somewhere else, which is true. But I'll put it like this. I would like to see the payday that happens between Floyd and Cotto first. And if Martinez, all right, offers him a bigger purse, you know what I mean, than the Floyd Cotto fight, Floyd has to take that fight. Or even Manny has to take that fight. I mean, this is what it comes down to. He's offered them both out. So someone's got to give him a shot. He wants to be the best in the world. He doesn't want to be ranked third. You get what I'm saying? That's what this comes down to. So I don't want to say Floyd's ducking him yet because we don't know all the stuff to it. But if this is a bigger purse than what Floyd's going to get for Cotto, and he's offering him 80%, and Floyd still says no, I'd say that's ducking. I really would. That really is. Or even Manny, even Manny would take a fight of lesser extent. If Manny doesn't fight him, I'd say that's ducking too. So I put it like this also, all right? Because I want to talk about this. We talked about the last Manny Pacquiao fight, and a lot of people complained about, his opponent stepping on Manny's foot so he couldn't move. Well, guess what? Martinez and Macklin constantly stepped on each other's foot, and yet no one said anything then. Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. First off, Sergio Martinez, he fought a good fight. The fight should have ended, earlier than what it did, but it was a slam dunk. We knew he was going to win until he started taking it serious when that faulty knockdown for him happened. Then that rest of that round he beat the hell out of Macklin. He really did. But yeah. I mean, the fight was great. Like I say, if you haven't seen the fight, please see it. I know a lot of you guys are asking me to start talking more about MMA. Hopefully I'll get some chance to do that. I did get a chance to see Ronda Rousey versus Miesha Tate. And I want to say real quick, Ronda Rousey is like the Chris Jericho of Strikeforce right now, all right? She's the person that has 1,000 moves, an Olympic wrestler. She has 1,000 moves, but only uses one. Armbar. All right? And it's crazy that she submits everyone off an armbar. I want to give a lot of credit to Miesha Tate due to the fact that to survive through those type of armbar, she got out of armbar like 2 or 3 times before she actually submitted. And it was just like, it was crazy. And I love, the post-fight talk afterwards because of the fact that, Ronda Rousey had the nerve to say, I didn't feel bad doing it. Damn, you don't feel bad doing it. She said because there was so much talk between those two, trash talk between those two. Ronda Rousey even offered out her boyfriend, Miesha Tate's boyfriend, was like, I'll make him tattoo. Like, damn, like that's a confident chick. I like to see that. I really do. And I also have to ask you guys, now that we know that Chris Cyborg has been caught, pretty much juicing with steroids, should the fight between her and Gina Carano, that loss that Gina Carano had, should that be stricken from the record? Should that just be wiped away? I'm just asking you guys that real quick. Now, guys, real quick, I want to talk about soccer real quick. A lot of you guys on Twitter have been asking me to talk about more soccer. I had stopped talking about soccer due to the fact that the fans, I don't understand you guys. I really don't. Now, look, I'll explain this. When I was talking soccer, I had half of you saying, look, can you please talk about soccer without spoiling a lot? You want to talk highlights, please, but don't spoil it because a lot of us haven't seen, some of the matches yet. And that's fine. That's what I did. I accommodated you guys for that. And then I had these idiots coming in and complaining about, you don't talk about soccer, football, whatever you want to call it, the right way. You have to understand I'm not trying to spoil much. That's what it is. But you're not happy. You're never happy. So I stopped talking about it because it didn't make any sense. I can't, like I said, I know that I'm not going to please everyone. But you have to understand things are done a certain way for a reason. I understand you guys' passion, though. Don't get me wrong. I do understand. Because after watching, this week, I had a chance to sit down and watch Chelsea versus Manchester City. The fans went nuts when Chelsea scored.
Distinguished Babin image. That's an punching moment for City. Tevez played a big part in that as well. Look at the celebrations. How big might...
Like I said, I understand your passion. Those fans look like they were having a great time after they scored. Like I said, maybe down the line we'll talk more soccer or football, whatever you want to call it. But I need to talk about American football right now, all right? We need to talk about the New Orleans Saints. That's right, and the bounty problems and the punishments. Now, look, I don't feel bad for the team. I don't. I feel bad for fans. And I feel bad for certain players, but not the team in total, all right? Because the coaches knew what they were doing. Now, look, I will go on record and say that this is not the first team to ever have a bounty. I mean, hello, Eagles Dallas Bounty Bowl, all right? But you have to understand what the NFL is doing today, with all the problems they're having with concussions and old players coming back and suing them in the recent years. The last thing they want to hear is that players are purposely trying to hurt others who have, or try to provide families. Their careers are short as it is, all right? The last thing they want to hear is that there's players out there trying to hurt people, all right? I understand this coach did this, and was it with the Redskins? Well, it didn't help the Redskins any, and he's with the Rams now. I'm sure it didn't help the Rams any. He's been suspended indefinitely. But let's keep going, all right? The defensive coordinator. But I know the head coach, Sean Payton, he knew about this. The coaching staff knew about it, so I have no problem with them being suspended. The fans, they deserve an explanation. Drew Brees came out on Twitter and said he would never think that Sean Payton would do something like that because he's such a good role model and a mentor. How could he do this? He wants an explanation. And when your quarterback wants an explanation, you know what, and he's the leader of your team, the fans deserve an explanation as well. Now, I will say there are some fans out there who are acting like idiots. And they showed on ESPN earlier, some shop, all right, some New Orleans shop that have, that make like, customized shirts and things of that nature. They came out with a free Sean shirt. It was like free, had the shirt and it says Sean. And we just talked about this earlier this week with free Tebow. Look, Sean Payton is not in jail. Stop this. Stop. And I'm getting real sick and tired of people taking liberties with that. But like I said, fans, I feel bad for you. Your season's pretty much done. It really is before it's even started. I mean, it's going to be a hell of an uphill for you guys. So I do feel bad for the fans, but the fans deserve an explanation. Don't just go blindly and say, well, it's not the coaching staff's fault, blah, blah, blah. No. You deserve an explanation. They got caught. They did. They have papers. And you have these football players coming out of nowhere all of a sudden saying you should worry about the snitching more than the bounties and hurting people. What? Are you? No. You shouldn't worry about the snitching. Someone needed to be called on. And people are blaming Jeremy Shockey, and I don't know. All right, but you shouldn't be worried about the snitching as much as players actually getting hurt. That's the deal right there. Players are getting hurt, and there's a problem with that. There is. I'm not trying to hear it. You already get paid millions of dollars. A lot of you do. I mean, a lot of you players. I mean, there's not all players don't get paid that much, but there's a lot that do. So I can understand the incentive to go out and hurt someone. I wish they did that for basketball. Have an incentive. If you can drop 30 that night without gunning out your team, you get an incentive. But I don't know. But I need to move on, all right? Like I said, I do feel bad for the Saints fans, though, but I need to move on. Eagles fans, we need to have a talk real quick before I end this. That's right. I don't understand this. Now, look, we made the trade for D'Amico Ryans. That's my approval, all right? D'Amico Ryans, a lot of you guys said that, you weren't following D'Amico Ryans before. He played great in Texas, all right? We have a great player, a great linebacker. He is legit. End of story, right there. I do have a problem with how this will affect him due to the attitude of players. And every time something good happens with the Eagles, something bad happens with the Eagles. Because those who don't understand, and I'll put the link in the info bar for you guys, all right? Jason Babin once again comes out and trashes Eagle fans. He just doesn't shut up. This guy just doesn't understand. He says that Eagles fans, they eat paste. They eat paste. You got to be kidding me. Seriously. And for those who don't know what's going on, he made some comments towards Deshaun Jackson about the franchise tag or whatever, and Eagles fans jumped on that. Was like, what do you mean? His statements weren't very clear about it. So fans got a little upset about it, right? So instead of explaining his position, he just says, oh, you guys eat paste. Now, he went on a radio show, and he explained his position of what he really meant, right? Which didn't help his cause anymore because people were still like, what? But why is it that you can go on a radio show and explain your position, but the people that you're initially talking to at that time, you didn't take the time out to explain your position to them? That makes no sense. You could have diffused the situation a long time ago, but instead, you're a jerk. That's what you are. You're a jerk. At least I don't understand how people can sit here and just defend this dude. And then you want me to back this team? And this is the problem I have. Because if we get D'Amico Ryans, I'm really hoping that he becomes a leader and sets a standard. And I mean attitude-wise, too. I don't want to see these guys, their influence rub off on him, and he starts to become a loudmouth, too. Because if he does, I don't want nothing to do with him. But right now, D'Amico Ryans is okay in my book. And like I said, when you have these players coming out and saying these type of things, because a lot of you guys have messaged me from other teams, fans from other teams. We've never seen anything like this in sports, or our team wouldn't deal with that in our team. You'd never see that, all right? Only in Philadelphia have we let this slide. I say Eagles fans are becoming soft. What is going on here? This makes no sense, all right? But I am happy to see the fans are starting to fight back. I am happy to see that. Anyways, guys, I'm done. I told you I'd do the video, so it is what it is. I will talk to y'all later. We'll talk basketball and more hockey and things of that nature next week. Some big stuff next week. Talk to y'all then. Y'all be safe. I'm out.